السلام عليكم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم، والصلاة والسلام على سيدنا رسول الله. السؤال اللي أمامنا الآن اللي هو عايزين نكتب برنامج للبيزك كمبيوتر لإجراء العملية or operation Z equal or X, which is equal to A or B. But as you know, in basic computer programming, OR is not available. So we should use the and its negation. First step, we assume that we have two variables, two operands, A and B. The first step, we are going to LDA, load the accumulator with the value of A. Now, as you see here, A is already complemented. The second step, you should take the complement of A. After that, we should keep the contents of accumulator in a new variable anywhere in the memory. Let we call this variable temp. So the instruction STA used to store the contents of the accumulator in any operand we choose. Let me see TMB1. TMB1, it's temporary variable. Now, what about B? So B should be loaded into the accumulator. LDA B. After that, CMA, take the complement. Now, the accumulator, as you see here, has the value B complement, and A complement is stored in temp1. So we can say and TMB1. Up to here we have do the following question: A complement or B complement, but we need here to complement all the results, so we should use CMA. This is the concept of our program. Now let we move to basic computer simulator. The first step should be org, choose a number 100. As I told you, we have two operand X and Y. Should be used as parameter in the subroutine. So the first step, LDA STA in X, or you can say LDB STA in Y. After that, you should load the value of A. Now, the value of A is loaded into the accumulator. The value of B is stored at variable Y or operand Y. Now, we are going to call the subroutine to find the or operation for x and y. To call a subroutine, you should use the instruction BSA followed by the name of the subroutine. Let we say the name of the subroutine OR X. As you know, we are going to use parameter in this subroutine, and I'm going to use just one parameter, which is known as y. So the parameter set should follow the call instruction. Here the parameter is the parameter y is stored at location hex, let we say 3a. You can choose any number. After we return back from the subroutine, the result should be stored in Z. Now this is the end of the main program. Now let we write our subroutine. ORX is the name of our subroutine. Comma hex, let we say 3D 300. The first step here, as you know, just before we call the subroutine, the accumulator was loaded with the value of A. If we perform this instruction CMA, here we are going to complement the accumulator. We are going to keep this in any temporary operand. Let me say STA store the complement of A in TMB1. Now we are going to load the value of Y. Y hold the value of P. LDA followed by the name of our subroutine or X followed by I. Now Y is loaded in the accumulator. Complement Y. Now the complement of Y is available in the accumulator, and the complement of A is stored at TMB1. Now you can say and TMB1. This instruction means use the AND operation, perform the AND operation on the accumulator and temp1. We need to complement all the results CMA. Before we end our program, whole program, we should define our operands. We use here A and B. Let we assume that A can have any value, decimal 5, B can have decimal 6. What about temp? Also should be TMB1 should be defined, but as you know here, at the beginning temp have no value, so here we are going just to specify its location, the address of temp hex. Let me see 400. And now let we run our program. There may be something wrong. just before end our program CMA here, we should check whether there is any subroutine is 0 or X. If there is no parameters, we are going to go back to our subroutine Pn ORXI. Let me check our program LDA, LSTAY, LTAA, BS or X. It's okay. X3 ST run. What's our problem here? There may be something wrong. LDA STA Y LDA. It's okay. BSA or X. X3A ST Z is not defined. Z X, let me say 500. So if we take the number 101, which is A, 5 in decimal equal to 101 in binary, and B, which is equal to 6 in decimal, and its binary equivalent is 110. Use the AND gate 111. Zero, 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 111. Then it will be 7. The result is 7. If you have a look here, the accumulator is 7.